Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is AMIRAH HUSNA binti KHAIRULNISA. So, the next topic that I will present is about the issue of the failure of the Lehman Brothers. Lehman had a humble beginning as a general store. It started in 1844 in Montgomery when three brothers opened a general store to the dry goods. The company later diversified its product portfolio by trading other commodities and helping firms raise capital in the equity and a bond market. It became an NYSE member in 1887 and established itself in the security trading and underwritten business. Its reputation solidified between 1925 and 1969 under Robert Lehman leadership. During such a period, the bank worked closely with leading companies in providing financial advice, underwriting security offering, and assisting in M&A transaction. The company ran as a family-controlled business and as a partnership until Robert died in 1969. It went public in 1994 by issuing an IPO which helped raise over $3 billion. The first issue of the failure of the Lehman Brothers is the operation of the Glass-Steagall Act. Glass-Steagall Act proponents say that in 1993, Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which repealed Glass-Steagall, was to blame for the whole U.S. financial crisis. In 1933, the Glass-Steagall Act was passed to segregate commercial and investment banking during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, it is estimated that 9,000 banks went bankrupt. To allow commercial banks to participate in investment banking activities, this act was updated and rewritten in 1999. Several commercial banks amalgamated with investment firms after the Glass-Steagall Act of 1933 was repealed. Investment banks have been combined and purchased to compete with commercial banks with considerable leverage. To put it simply, Lehman's deceitful merger tactic resulted in the demise. The second issue is unethical management practice. To fulfill its growth strategy and other goals, Lehman management used a variety of shady dealing, inaccurate accounting procedures, and apparent contempt for basic corporate governance principles. Lehman used window dressing presentation to entice investors and paint a particular company image. Lehman Brothers auditor Ernst & Young have been charged with colluding with the bank to commit series of financial statement fraud. Lehman Brothers employed Federal Reports 105 transaction at the end of the year to enhance its financial positions. According to the SEC, Lehman Brothers violated most of these criteria when it utilized Reports 105 to falsify financial documents. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee of the United States subpoenaed them for potential financial penalties and jail terms by subpoenaing the CFO and CEO of the Lehman Brothers and the other executives. For further information on this topic, Ford reportedly got $3,000 million in compensation in incentive in his first 8 years on the job, making him one of the highest paid CEO in the United States. Ford was reported that Lehman top executive received $480 million in bonus despite the firm's financial woes before its collapse. Many financial experts blame Lehman Brothers' downfall on unethical behavior by the bulk of the company management. As a result, the company breach of internal risk management procedures, and the top management of Lehman Brothers was directly responsible for the company bankruptcy. An inquiry in July 2007 showed that 30 of the bank's real estate-related transaction risks had been breached by the bank's top management Kimberly. Lehman's liquidity pool included $41 billion in assets only 5 days before the bank filed for bankruptcy. Clearinghouse deposits most likely exaggerate with this amount. The third issue is liquidity crisis. It was a significant part of Lehman Brothers' downfall that it couldn't keep it short-term debt. Even though Lehman Brothers had much of money, they sometimes had a problem with cash. The most bank cut ties with Lehman Brothers in 2009 because of the fallout from the financial crisis. When Lehman Brothers went bankrupt in 2008, lenders and customers lost faith in this company. This made the company less appealing to investors and potential investors. For this reason, Lehman Brothers cut back on their gross assets by $147 billion and made more money available. The way they use their cash to pay off debt also led to 20% decrease in commercial mortgage exposure and factor of 32 reduction in leverage to about 25% of the original amount. Because Lehman didn't have so much money as its rival Beach Standard in March 2008, their proposed strategy or rescue package didn't help. The next issue is with collateral obligation to pay and a crisis with derivative. There was a COT crisis and a derivative problem. Lehman Brothers were reported to have undertaken several risky and unneeded investments before going bankrupt to develop and profit from real estate. The residential world loan RWL triggered many of Lehman Brothers' difficulties. When RWLs accumulate action and pool, they become RMBS, which is residential mortgage backed. In May 2008, RWL stock was worth about 8.3 billion. Claim Lehman has no tracking of entire residential loan, which exacerbated their problem. Lehman entered the derivative market to profit from speculative chance while reducing financial risk. This is to keep their asset and exposure stable. Lehman Brothers held an estimate 35 trillion in derivative and over 900,000 derivative contracts globally at their failures. The stock market lost money as the 2007 global financial crisis worsened. The next issue is leveraging. Lehman's propensity of borrowing excessive amount of money to pay for its asset resulted in the company being a high leverage situation. When a corporation can pay for part of its asset using fixed rate instrument to generate more money for its shareholder, this is referred as a financial leverage. During the financial crisis, Lehman Brothers' high leverage ratio increased from 20 to 1 shareholder equity in 2004 to 44 to 1 shareholder equity in 2007. Lehman would lend $44 for every $1 in cash for other financial resources that a customer provided. The next issue is the complicated capital structure. With more than 3,000 different legal entities, Lehman Brothers had problems with their capital structure because they had to do business through many. When issue arose due to the plan to grow, the company so much grew. If you look at the report, the change made the capital structure very complicated, making it hard to figure out. A small group of financial experts found this phenomenon only about it play roles in the failure of the Lehman. Last but not least, the failure of the Lehman Brothers is the failure to take over as a bailout. People at Lehman Brothers tried many different things to rebuild their business in the month before it went bankrupt, but none of them worked. Having lost much money and not selling off some of its business, it caused the company to lose 2.8 billion. When Lehman Brothers tried to sell off most of its business by the 10th September in 2008, it lost 3.9 billion. Investor confidence in the stock market kept going down as their stock lost more than half of their value, which led to 3.4% drop in the S&P 500. The Dow Jones also dropped almost 300 points because investors were worried about how the bank would pay its bill, because the United States government said that it will not help them with any money problem that came from the failure of the Lehman Brothers. So, following the government announcement, Lehman Brothers said it was talking with the Bank of America and Barclays about a possible acquisition deal to save its fortune. Lastly, the UK Financial Service Regulator and the Bank of England have rejected the agreement to protect Lehman from bankruptcy. Consequently, federal officials in the United States excluded Bank of America from their search for a potential acquisition because this last-minute restructuring measure did not work out. Lehman Brothers had to file for bankruptcy on 15 September in 2008. So, that's all the issue the failure of the Lehman Brothers.